Welcome back to Explain America. This is your host, Kyle Becker. Well, things keep going from bad to worse for the broken Democratic Party. We have a leading Democrat who has stepped in it once again, and as if the revelations before didn't shock you, well, this is going to put it over the top. This is a party that is extremely dangerous, and, well, the silence on the radical left is damning. Before we get into this story, please like, share, and comment at Explain America. Join us. We appreciate your support for common sense journalism. Now, a Virginia Attorney General candidate, Jay Jones, has shown himself to be, well, let's just put it bluntly, a sociopathic menace. He has been caught with texts that show him wishing death on his political opponents. And really, we are sick of this kind of radical demonization of Republicans. And the thing is that it is so commonplace in the Democratic Party right now that the left can't even condemn political violence anymore. That is where we've gotten in America. We've seen the Republican side get absolutely attacked over and over again. Donald Trump was shot in the ear at a campaign rally, and Charlie Kirk was assassinated. We saw this celebration and the cheering on the radical left. And this is just another sign that this party is extremely sick and twisted, because Jay Jones, in addition for wishing for former Speaker Todd Gilbert's children to die because they're little fascists, well, he has recently said that cops should die. That's right. In this recently disclosed text, he said, quote, maybe if a few cops died, that they would move on. Not shooting people, not killing people, unquote. Well, just like everything else the Democratic Party says, this is based on lies. If you could go into the database at the Washington Post or even at the New York Times, and professionals that did analyses on police shootings, in the great majority of the cases, they were not racially motivated. Almost everyone was armed or resisting arrest in a violent way. So no, cops are not going out and targeting innocent people for shootings. This is ludicrous, and it's the type of rhetoric that is getting cops killed. So his rhetoric is the type of thing that is getting cops killed. So this is just another reason why he cannot be the Attorney General for the Commonwealth of Virginia. This is almost as insane as Mamdani being elected to be New York City mayor. The capitalist hub of the entire world being put in the hands of a communist demagogue is the height of insanity. And you would think that these Democrats would stop being brainwashed after a while and realize that the left's policies simply do not work for anyone except for the left. No, they don't understand that. So just to underscore how big a disaster this would be for the Attorney General of Virginia to be Jay Jones, well, he can't follow the law because he was busted going 160 miles an hour, and he was convicted for reckless driving, but then he was sentenced to community service, and he violated the court order by doing it for his political action committee. And just to recap what we said earlier, he called former Virginia Speaker Todd Gilbert's children little fascists. And then he also said, only when people feel pain personally do they move on policy. This is psycho talk. And just to really go another step further, he had this kind of sick post, this text to a Republican, and said, 3 people, 2 bullets. Gilbert, being Todd Gilbert, Hitler and Pol Pot. Gilbert gets 2 bullets every time. So he's saying that Gilbert is worse than Hitler and Pol Pot. This guy is deranged. And the Republican who responded, the state legislator, she said, it really bothers me when you talk about hurting people or wishing death on them. Well, this suggests that it wasn't the first time. But it gets even worse because this is not a story about Jay Jones so much as it is the Democratic Party. Why? Well, let's go to a quote from the Federalist Molly Hemingway. I think this sums it up beautifully. She said, not to go all Occam's razor, but perhaps the reason every single Democrat is standing behind Virginia Democrat AG candidate Jay Jones, who fascinated about Republicans getting assassinated and their children dying is because they more or less agree with him. And that is the chilling implication of this story. It is not all about Jay Jones. It's about the radical Democratic Party and the hard tilt towards political violence that we're seeing from this party. So weigh in with your thoughts and your reaction to this story. We always appreciate hearing from you at Explain America.